Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mrbigmick. Today, I'm joined by an awesome guest. This guest name is Gerrick. Gerrick, say hello.
What up? What up, my players?
If you want to
Got my
slap Gerrick, I will send you his address. Today, we are here to talk about some pretty interesting things in World of Warcraft. We're here to talk about some of the lore and the future of the Horde, and we will probably ramble. You have been forewarned. So, what do you think of the future of the Horde, Gerrick?
I think it as far as the Horde goes in itself, it's going on a very good path. Um but as Azeroth as a whole, I don't think it is, no.
The Horde's too destructive, or what?
Uh the Horde is too gimme gimme gimme. I mean that's good because it's the cataclysm, but then again it's the cataclysm. There's not enough to go around.
Yeah,
So
but I mean
for the
they
Horde, go ahead.
they got Garrosh, and Garrosh is a war hero. Garrosh is the big guy who's like, all right, I want your stuff, I want it now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me from taking it. He is the epitome of basically a childhood playground bully, but he's got Gorehowl and an army.
Huh. That's what I was thinking at first too, but I've been reading a little bit of the book Wolfheart. Have you read it?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet.
It's pretty interesting. It touches it's doing the same thing where it's like it does two storylines back and forth, and
My
in part
my
of it they have
understanding
yeah.
is it's mostly about Varian Rin and Tyrande, isn't it?
No, probably more like Varian Wryn and Gen Greymane.
Really?
Though it's like everything is hosted like between Malfurion and Tyrande, because the big like it's like Tyrande and Malfurion start off, what's going to happen, but they're not the main stories. They're not the main characters of what is going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. What's this got to do with
Anyways,
Garrosh?
hmm anyways, in the second, half storyline that they switch back and forth, they touch a little bit up on Garrosh, and you know, I've been kind of impressed because he's doing things that are smart. Like he complete, and I'm sorry, this isn't that big of a spoiler. It really isn't. I mean, you hear it in the first few chapters.
No
Um,
worries. Spoiler warning. There will probably be spoilers in this video. Just sort of, if you don't want to listen to spoilers, don't watch this video. Anyway,
it's a
continue.
very small one, but he's doing things to take Ashenvale, but he's making these moves that you know that are really he's taking the advantage of the Night Elves underestimating him. He's doing things like they show up in different places of Ashenvale Forest, and eventually the Night Elves send off a courier to get reinforcements from Darnassus. Garrosh catches it, and he says, "Oh, this is awesome. This is exactly how it's going to plan." And I haven't gotten past that, but he's doing things where he's very smart, very well thought out. Um, Another example is night elves are being attacked, and so once the first carrier gets shot down, they try sending off more, and the orcs just are hiding in the trees. They don't. These are night elves. The orcs are hiding in the trees, and they shoot down like four couriers on hippogriffs out of the sky, and so um, and they weren't expecting that, and they decide to send some more after a little bit of fighting, and This time they decided to shoot into the forest just as a sort of protection for the hippogriffs. The orcs then shoot off again. They they sent uh, proto drakes after them. Once they were so high that you wouldn't be able to shoot an arrow, they send proto dragons after them. And
Well,
it's just
I mean,
uh,
I'm not saying Garrosh is an idiot. I mean, he is pig-headed. That can't be argued. The dude is obsessed with war. He's got this serious hatred of the Alliance. He's got all sorts of crazy issues. But I'm not saying he's stupid. But what I am saying is just the mentality he carries of, you know, this is all going to be mine, and if you stand in front of me, I'm going to kill you, isn't the most healthy thing for the planet, and may end up biting him in the ass. I mean,
mhm,
for some reason, I don't know why, but the Horde almost seems more focused on killing the Alliance than they do on killing whatever enemy there is. You know, in
mhm.
the in Icecrown, if you're playing through as Horde, if you played through as Alliance or Horde, there was an Alliance force that was going to attack the Scourge, and the Horde attacked them from the rear, and the Alliance got sandwiched. And I thought, okay, well, this is probably going to be different from the Horde side, because I originally played it through an Alliance. It's not.
Mhm.
The guy was like, oh well, our guys did this. Wonderful. It's like you do realize you just killed more Alliance than you did Scourge, and because of that, the Scourge has more soldiers now.
I think I know what you're talking about. It was that one. It was what's it called? What's it called? The Broken Front.
Yes,
And you got to talk to the soldier, and he tells you we were going to take the scourge down, but the horde came in and they killed us before killing the scourge,
yes,
in which they lost.
yes.
So yeah, I agree. I think they I agree partially. I think Garrosh uh was pig-headed very much up until he became war chief. Um,
I think he's more so
and
now.
I just don't think they give him enough, touching on a story, enough interaction, um, as they did back in Wrath. Why do you think so more now, though?
Well, more now just because the he's got more power, and he will go as far as he can to stay away from avoiding any sort of cooperation with the Alliance. And I won't deny I am more biased towards the Alliance, even though my most of my main tunes are over on Horde. It's just he seems more intent on weakening the Alliance than he does on going against any big opposing force. You know, he
I
seemed more intent on screwing over the Alliance than he did on fighting Deathwing, really. He was just more like, alright, well, you're here, so you're our focus now. You know?
mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I uh, I actually agree with that. I think he is focusing more on killing the Alliance, but I think he's doing it in a way that isn't just for the sake of killing Alliance. Because it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to create opposition here,
That's
where
fine.
it's like think about where he's attacked. It's either been from defense, which is very rare. It's kind of more like Southern Barons, or offense when he needs to get something before the Alliance do, such as Ashenvale with the wood, Twilight Highlands with all the orcs and uh,
Well, I
what
mean,
other?
see, Twilight Highlands is a perfect example. He sends out his own protection to attack the Alliance fleet, knowing full well that they have that protection for a reason, because there's going to be some Twilight Drakes, and sure enough, a whole bunch of Twilight Dragonflight show up, and Deathwing himself. I mean, I'm of no opinion whatsoever that they could have held off against Deathwing, but it's like, oh, I'm just gonna send off my own guard in order to attack Alliance fleet. Whereas what should have happened is they should have both been like, okay, this is bad. We need to get in there and stop the Twilight Hammer. And more you see this incredibly aggressive side of him, and more we don't really see any sort of repercussion from it. And I think in Pandaria, it's really going to bite him in the ass, because he's probably just going to shove the wrong person, and it's going to be like, all right, it's over. I'm going to stab you in the throat now.
I think in Miss Pandaria, it's going to be not so much biting him in the ass, but more along the lines of an explosion, because
How do you mean?
Varian. Well, I've been reading this book too, and Varian has been getting more aggressive than he was at the beginning. He's getting pissy. Like in this book, he flat out calls out Gen Greymane twice. When everybody else was perfectly fine with having Gen join the Alliance. And so I think it's going to
Well, see that.
boil up and explode in Miss Pandaria, because they say Miss Pandaria is supposed to be the quiet before the storm, which is kind of weird since we just had the cataclysm.
Yeah.
But they also said it's about finding inner peace and trying to resolve differences between the Horde and the Alliance. So I think, and as the cliche goes, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. You know?
Well, see, Varian has a problem with Gen because he's a Gilnan. And Varian's problem with the Gilnans is they didn't do shit for the Third War. They just weren't there. They were like,
Varian,
oh, well, we're just gonna sort of build this wall. GG guys, best of luck.
yeah.
That's basically what the Gilneans did, and Varian probably blames them for a lot of that happened. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he blamed them for Arthas, because if they'd have been there, the Scourge might not have been as big of a threat, and they might not have caused Arthas to go literally all out and get turned into the Lich King. It wouldn't be that hard of a reasoning for that. Garrosh is just like, I hate humans. It's like, dude, you didn't even really have anything to do with the humans till BC, and now you're like, you have a stick up your ass, and you hate humans and Alliance. But
No, I think Thrall's the one with the stick up his ass in this latest patch.
yeah, really. But I mean, it's less a case of aggression and more a case of a grudge when it comes to Varian, and Garrosh is just more like, I hate you because you're in my way, unless I have a legitimate reason to hate you. I mean, the Horde is an invading country. The Orcs don't belong on Azeroth. The Trolls do,
Yeah,
and the
they are.
Tauren do, but the Orcs are from Draenor,
Hmm.
and they show up and they're like, this is mine, and the humans are like, no,
Yes,
this
it
isn't.
is. Fuck that shit.
And I really do think it's just going to bite him in the ass, because he's going to be like, okay, well, pandas, obey me. And they're going to be like, no, go
No,
to
I'm
hell.
good.
Which is probably why some of the pandas are Alliance and some of the pandas are Horde, because they're like, well, we like Bane. The rest of you can go fuck yourself.
Hmm. Oh,
Speaking of Bane, he never does anything. Ever.
yeah, like even worse than his dad. I love Ken, but Honestly, in WoW, except for like books, he hasn't really done anything.
No, he really hasn't. He takes place after Tyrande. Just doesn't do a damn thing. I mean, Bane doesn't do anything. What's his name? Blood Elf guy. He doesn't do
Lorthamar.
anything. Yeah, Lorthamar. He doesn't do a damn thing. Gallywix sort of sits in his pleasure palace. Freaking Vol'jin was like, all right, guys, there's trolls out there and they want to kill everybody. I'm just going to be occupied for the rest of the Cataclysm. He doesn't do a damn thing aside from patch
Slash
4.
hide.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything aside from slash patch 4.1, and patch 4.1 made no sense in terms of story. It's like, okay, dragon, cataclysm, suddenly trolls.
Hmm.
What? It's like Pandaria. It's like dragon, end of the earth, suddenly pandas. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
No more dragon aspects. Time of the mortals.
pandas.
Pandas.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same thing when it came to patch 4.1. It was just like, okay, this is Vol'jin's big spot in the sun and two kind of crappy rehashed dungeons that give epic loot. What the fuck? it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
he hasn't done the damn thing. I mean, the only ones who've really done anything are two people everybody loves to hate: Garrosh and Sylvanas.
Garrosh and Sylvanas.
They're the only ones
Yeah.
who've done a damn thing, and everybody seriously dislikes them for the reason that the things they do are like, wow, you're a terrible person. I don't like you.
You're an asshole.
Well, I mean, Sylvanas is like, there's a small band of farmers who are hiding in that canyon. We're gonna cover it in plague. That guy just spilled my drink. Plague him.
In the words of in the words of the great Total Biscuit,
It's covered in plague.
cover it in plague.
I mean, it's
Hav-
just
Having problems with your clogged up pipes?
use the
Use
plague.
the plague.
Well, I mean
All right.
that is their go-to thing. That's all
It
they
is.
freaking do. Is use the plague, and the rest of the horde is like, no,
Well,
don't
what?
use the plague. But the Forsaken are basically like, well, what plague?
Yeah.
Because
Well, what?
nobody's gonna stand up to them. They're not just gonna be like, all right, you've just crossed the line and leave. You're no longer welcome in the horde. I mean, I don't think they would ever do that. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just
They should,
I
but they never
think
will.
Sylvanas kind of owes the Horde, to be honest.
Sylvanas is a
And
bitch. She doesn't care.
yeah, she is a bitch, but
She doesn't care.
she also realizes though if she went against the Horde, she would be fucked.
But she's willing to push the envelope over and over and over again because she knows for a fact that they're not going to do a damn thing to her. Because it's been proven that they won't do a damn thing to her. Because she uses
Hold up here,
the
hold up
plague
here.
over and over, and she got in the doghouse when it came to the Wrathgate, but then she goes to Gilneas, completely mucks that up. I mean, nobody can say Gilneas was a successful military campaign. The most they did was cause the Gilneans to retreat, and even still, it's just sort of one of those, lol, what? I mean, she just wasted a whole bunch of resources, and they're still just completely okay with her.
Yeah. I well, here's the thing. She is a bitch, but I think she does follow some sort of rule. Not, I won't go as far as honor, but rule because I remember seeing videos back when it was the pre Wrath of the Lich King event,
Yeah.
and there's Garrosh and Thrall. They're doing their duel, like right before the duel. Sylvanas is going up and like literally almost begging Thrall, please, can we go to Northrend? Please, 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 can we go kill this guy? Please, please, kill him, please, now, please. You remember that?
Well, see, that was not really a rule. That was her wanting revenge, and it's a
Yeah, yeah,
serious.
but that's the thing. She went to Thrall and asked permission. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
Thrall can't really be compared to Garrosh. Thrall had honor. I mean, well, Garrosh has honor too, but Thrall was a more respectable leader, and Thrall was had a better relationship with Sylvanas. There's no other way to say that. Sylvanas and Garrosh don't see eye to eye in any way,
Yeah,
shape, or form,
I
and
suppose that's true.
it's just one of those things. Like um, she would beg him because she wants the military resources that go with the Horde. She doesn't
Yeah.
she doesn't care about the Horde. She's in there for her own benefit. She cares a little about her own people, but she knows that without them, she's done. And she only cares about them so much is because without them, there would be nothing standing between her and death, and she does not want to die again. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Because
just,
Dara should be all over that.
well, so would the Alliance. You think Varian Bryn would
Yeah.
think twice about beheading her? No,
Oh hell no.
he'd do it in a
Especially
second.
now with the war again. That's like
Yeah,
one state away.
Varian would, Gen would, uh, shit, Tyrande would. She doesn't care.
Ter- yeah.
I
Ter-
mean,
ter-
I think the only leaders who wouldn't would be Gallywix because you can bribe him, and Lorthamar because he's useless without Tyrande. Or useless without Sylvanas. Not Tyrande.
yeah. So yeah, the sneak peek next patch, Sylvanas and Tyrande are gonna hook up. So yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
I read that from a friend from OMF from a MMO champ. True stuff. You just watch.
yes, because
All right.
MMO Champion never has false information, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, but
Um,
so
here's the thing I'm wondering. Like, how in the hell are they gonna fit in this panda thing with the horde? Because
the
I
Torn.
mean, yeah, but as far as Garrosh goes, he really only wants you in the horde if you have any use. And honestly, what possible use in any way, shape, or form besides making food would the pandas have for the horde? Answer that one.
Well, there's pretty obvious answers to that. I mean,
Like what?
they bring a level of wisdom and they bring a level of calm. They bring
We're talking about
resources
Garrosh.
and troops. They bring resources and troops,
They don't like to fight.
but they will. I mean that they have to.
I don't know.
And
It just seems like the whole idea that we have about the pandas just seems kind of contrary to the whole
well,
idea about the horde
I
as it
mean,
is now.
you're trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make any sense at all. No one really understands why Blizzard is suddenly going pandas. Most people thought it was going to be a joke. I'm still half hoping it is a joke. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, let me say something here and now. If you were pissed off at Miss Pandaria because you think they took the panda idea from a kids movie played by the voice actor of Jack Black, you need to go read. Go read the forums. Go read
no,
Warcraft 3. Go. Just go read. Stop the
don't
video. Just go
don't
read,
don't
please.
read the forums. The forums are places where dreams go to die. But do
Yeah.
do read about Warcraft 3. The Pandarin have been in Warcraft for a very long time. They they it was originally put in as a April Fool's joke, which is part of the reason everybody thought it was going to be a joke when they did, the whole, oh yeah, we're gonna copyright Mists of Pandaria. And everybody was like, oh yeah, well this is gonna be a joke. Well, no, it's not a joke. It's not like last time. This is something that they're legitimately doing, and it is not a ripoff from Kung Fu Panda.
Actually, it was even around before the April Fool's joke. They had a hero that you could have in Warcraft 3,
No,
and it preceded WoW.
before that, it was put in as an April Fool's joke.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I could swear it was. I would swear it was, but Mama's told me not to swear. um,
I swear they did that though for
no,
one of
and
the
it,
April Fool's jokes a couple years ago for WoW.
no, dude, they did it way before that. It was an April Fool's joke, I think, in back in the Warcraft 2 or 3 days.
I'm
It
gonna have to look
was.
that up.
Yeah. I mean, I know it started as an April Fool's joke. I just can't remember the exact date of when it was an April Fool's joke. Um, my memory is not the best. No one, anybody who claims it is a flat-faced liar and should be slapped in the face with a waffle iron.
Hmm.
Um, I I don't know. I got a feeling though that someone's gonna step on someone wrong. We all know for a fact everybody was like, "Oh, bring Thrall back," and they're like, "Lol, he's got a kid now. He's not doing
Yeah,
anything." So everybody
big
who was
time.
like, "Oh, we want Thrall back," well, that's not gonna happen. You're stuck with Garrosh. Congratulations.
Yeah,
And you're stuck with
yeah,
Sylvanas because nobody's got the spine to do a damn thing to her. I mean, Lorthamar sure doesn't. He's relying on her to be in the Horde.
yeah.
I mean
That
that's a
guy,
that's a solid fact.
That guy's more worried about like how his hair looks and making sure he has the most retarded, sounds he has in the game when you click on him.
He
He,
really
he
does.
really does.
Have you
His
read the
voice.
short story? The Blizzard
No,
short
not
story?
yet. I saw that they put that up, but I haven't read it.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to read it. The lorehound in me is like, I must, but the every other part of me is like, yeah, it's Lorthamar. Damn it, that's just no, I don't want to.
If 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 the plague had its own plague, it would be like Lorthamar's hair gel. That would what it would be. It would be
Oh my
horrible.
plague for the plague. What are we gonna do? We're gonna give the plague a plague. What is it? I don't know, but Lorthamar keeps it in a bottle in his living room, and his bathroom, and his kitchen.
Smells horrible. Uh,
Uh, Good.
um,
This is why they don't
but
take us to nice places.
yeah, yeah, big time. Um, what I'm wondering though is, are they just gonna like forget about Vol'jin? Because we were doing this whole
They
thing, and he's
basically
like,
have, dude.
I
I
know
mean,
it's really stupid. It's like they start off at the Cataclysm, how Garrosh is like, ooh, you're a weak ass, you're a pussy, get the hell out. So he kicks
Vol'jin
him
threatens
out.
to kill him.
Yeah, threatens to kill him. He's like, well, fine. You know what? I respect Thrall. I don't like you. Don't respect you. Don't know you. So I'm gonna stay in the Horde because of Thrall, but I'm not going to serve under you. And then you get that cinematic with uh
In the troll
the
starting
Trolls
zone.
patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so you'd be walking out on us, man. He's like, yeah, dude, my people are with the Horde. So is it like,
Well, again, it's one of those big letdowns they did. They just completely missed out on any opportunity they had with him. They solved up. They're like, oh well, there's no friction now. There's no hate between the two. It's like, okay, first of all, Garrosh is a pig-headed son of a bitch who's gonna hate somebody no matter what till the end of time. And second of all, Vol'jin just flat out doesn't like him. His dislike of him is almost greater than his respect for Thrall. Almost. And the reason it isn't is because he's still in the Horde, and it's just one of those things. It's like, well, Why did you not do anything about this? Why did Bane not just go to Garrosh and be like, bitch, I demand a duel? Or anything? Because, I mean, in the Bane short story, Garrosh is basically walking all over him. And Bane saves his ass, and Garrosh is still like, I'm Garrosh, I have tattoos, Gorhal.
Haven't read that one. I'm gonna need to.
Yeah, okay, here's basically what happens. More spoilers. Okay, Garrosh wants water for Orgrimmar because the goblins are poisoning the water that would normally flow into Orgrimmar from Ashenvale. With their construction and
Right.
stuff, they're poisoning the water. So Garrosh is like, okay, you're in Mulgore, you have water, give us your water. And Bane is just like, well, if the goblins stopped experimenting and doing all this stuff, the water would be healthy. And he's like, well, they're not going to do that under my orders because we need them for the war effort. So, and the Quilboar have been attacking the Tauren. You know, just shitloads of Quilboar taking out people who are running water and people who are trying to transport water because the Quilboar want the water. And at the end of it, Bane is like, please, Garrosh, I will resolve this. Just give me time. And Garrosh is like, okay, okay, okay. And then secretly in the middle of the night, he's like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to round up about 30 Korkron, and we're going to go in and we're going to murder all the Quilboar. So he goes into this cave, kills a whole bunch of Quilboar, eventually loses all of his Korkron. He's sitting there, his back against the wall, killing Quilboar, getting injured in the process, you know? And all of a
So
sudden, Bane shows up with, I think it's Hamul Rune Totem, and a couple Sunwalker Paladins, and just freaking bails them out, you know, blinds the Quilboar with the light, and they get up to the surface, and there's these weird, like, albino cave Quilboar things. Quilboar who haven't seen the light of day, like, ever. And Hamul Rune Totem is like, "Rah, you shall not pass," or something like that. Slams his freaking staff into the ground, and this river just bursts up and washes them all back into the thing. And he's like, "Ask the Earth Mother, and you shall receive." And at the end of it, Garrosh is just sitting there in grudging silence because he's just got his ass saved. And it's almost pathetic because of the fact that he doesn't want to admit that he just got his ass saved by somebody he's just spent all this time bullying. And even though by all rights he should be respecting Bane because he killed his father, and Bane decided not to take retribution, and he still treats him like a total piece of shit. Just because of the fact that Bane is just like, this would cause more problems than it would solve.
yeah.
It I don't know, man. That short story just put the nail in the coffin for me hating Garrosh. You know, the thing he did in what was it, the Stone Talon Mountains. That was his one really redeemable moment. And everything else he does is just kind of like, I hate you. I really do.
He did another one of those redeemable things in the Wolfheart book.
What do you do?
Well, he ordered a few couple of boats to go up to Venture Bay in Grizzly Hills,
Yeah.
and to capture 10 Worgen. For which I haven't gotten to the part where he actually unleashes them, but he's going to use them and unleash them upon the Night Elves. So these guys go up there, they get the Worgen, they start heading back. They run into this badass storm, and they lose a couple boats and 2 cages. And, you know, the captain, Briln is his name, Briln. It's like, oh my god, he's so going to kill me, because, you know, he lost 2 Worgen.
Yeah.
And he gets there, and, you know, he's like, all right, because, you know, he's not going to lose his honor. He'd rather lose his life than his honor. He lowers his head to have him be killed, and Garrosh is like,
uh, your honor is your life. And he's like, yes, my war chief. And you offer your life to me. Yes, my war chief. Then I would rather have you redeem your honor in combat fighting against the night elves instead of me killing you. So what he does is he takes Brilm's first captain or first mate and makes him captain of the ship and makes Brilm like the lead commander for the orc forces in Ashenvale.
See,
So
that's kind of redeemable, but it still doesn't change a lot of what he does. I mean, they've made him mostly a hateable character, and they've got these random, inconsistent moments where he's not a bad guy, but for the most part, he's kind of a douche. And
I think he's learning. I think that's just the thing. I think he's learning, and
unless they do a major character change, I don't see anything good for him. You know, if they do a major character change for him, then yeah. And until then, I'm not so sure. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Any, anywho, uh,
um, I'd like to point out something.
all right.
I doubt Blizzard would be watching this, but there has been something that has been pissing me off for the longest time. At the Archon tournament, please give Garrosh back his old model. Garrosh shouldn't have Gorehowl. Garrosh shouldn't be wearing tusks on his shoulders. Garrosh shouldn't have a tiny ass head that somehow shrunk. Garrosh shouldn't be chest naked in the Wrath of the Lich King era. Now, they say things like, oh, well, we want to make it so it's all current story. Well, it isn't current. If you go through all the quests, even the quests that they've updated, it's still Wrath of the Lich King era. Don't change the model. Don't change one thing and leave the rest. Please, Blizzard. God.
I have to agree with you on that one. I
That
actually have
pisses
to
me
agree
off.
with you on that. I know, man. I know. I've heard you rant. I have heard you rant. But we have been talking on for like 40 minutes now, so I think it is time for us to wrap this up.
I
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mrbigmick. That was myself and Gerrick. Gerrick, say
What
hello.
up, players?
And that was us talking about the future of the Horde. If you have anything to comment on, please comment in the section below. If you have any hate mail, please send it to Gerrick, not myself,
Right here, baby.
or send it to Blizzard.
Yeah.
um, Feel free to thumbs up, subscribe. Garrett's channel, he's probably going to be getting a new channel. I don't know what the hell he's going to do with that, but whatever his current channel is will be in the link below this in the description of this video. My own channel will be up, and well, you're watching my video, so yeah. And till next time, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and good hunting.